Alright folks, welcome back to Hateno Village. So we just arrived into town and we did the Weapon Connoisseur. We went ahead and activated our travel gate on there at their shrine. Right now I'm going to go into the general store and I'm going to sell some stuff off. Even though I've already got over 3,000 rupees, I want more. And I'll show you why here in a minute. I have things to sell. Go ahead and sell all, and I repeat, all of your ambers. However many you have, as long as you have over 35, 37, 40. As long as you have over 40 ambers. So I'll tell you what, I'll just go ahead and sell 40. You know what, let's make it 50. Nice round number, 50. So anyway, the reason we're doing that, well, for one, for the cash flow. But for two, the last thing you sell in a general store, you can get that many free pictures from the Hateno Ancient Tech Lab. That's right, you sell 50 amber, you're going to get every single plant life picture for free, and I'll show you guys how to do that in here in just a moment. Alright, so that's the general store. Right up the hill behind the general store, past the shrine, past these houses, is going to be Hylian Homeowner. Now, as I previously stated, you need 3,000 rupees and 30 bundles of wood to buy Link's house. Why is Link's house important? It's actually really cool because you can store weaponry here. Okay, so just go ahead and talk to the fruity looking dude here with the pink headband. Is that a headband? Sure. In the pink pants, he's the boss, and he's just basically going to tell you that they're tearing down the house and that, you know, you tell him you're going to buy it, blah, blah, blah. A whole lot of hubbub goes on. Now you just got to kind of wait for him to wander back to the cooking pot, and he will eventually, so might as well take advantage of the time and pick up a couple of rocks and see if there's any goodies hiding for us. Yeah, good deal. Stop it. And hopefully he's about back by now. Oh yeah, there's always sledgehammers here waiting for you if you need one. Okay, you need to wait for him to sit down apparently. Okay, once he sits down, go ahead and talk to him again, give him the 30 bundles of wood. Hopefully you've been following along with my walkthrough, and you've got at least 30 bundles of wood, and over 3,000 rupees. I think I had at least that many just from collecting all the rupees out of treasure chests we've found along our way. Alright, so that's Hylian Homeowner, folks. Now, after you give him the wood, and then you talk to him again, give him the rupees, he will give you your first weapon mount for free. Pretty cool deal. Now, you can have up to 3 weapons. All you gotta do is equip, and then hit it again to display. And you can buy 2 more, that's 100 rupees a piece. You can buy 3 bow and 3 shield mounts. For all of them are 100 rupees a piece. So we don't really need all that just yet at this point in the game. So just really kind of wanted to show you guys how that worked. It's a very, very cool feature in the game. And that weapon will be there waiting for us whenever we decide to come back. It can be tomorrow, it can be a month from now, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so Koroks right down there in the water below the bridge. There's another feature of Hateno Village I want to point out. There is a goddess statue here in town. It's not a real well, yeah, there's a real goddess statue here too, but the one I'm taking you to now is not a real one. It's this fake, scary-looking goddess statue. And you can actually trade your heart containers and stamina vessels for each other. Basically, when you give him a heart container or stamina vessel, he's going to pay you 100 rupees. When you get back what you want, so say you're trading in a heart container for a stamina vessel, so when you go to buy that back, it's going to cost you 120 rupees. So basically, it's going to cost you 20 rupees in every exchange. Not a bad little deal, you know, if you're really high up on heart containers and you really wished you had that extra stamina, that's how you can go ahead and make that right. Alright folks, so right now, since it's not raining in my game and it's nighttime, and I'm not going to have a whole lot of people to talk to because they're all going to be going to bed soon. If not, they're already in bed. I'm going to go ahead and knock out the blue flame. Now this is quite a little side quest here. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to recoup a few stamps here, so bear with me while I do that. I don't really need to keep Hestu's locations marked anymore. I think you guys are well past that in your games, hopefully. And I probably don't need to keep my cooking pots for big hardy radishes. I know where they all are now. Alright, that should do it. So, I'm going to go ahead and stamp these. This is where the blue flame starts. That'll be a star. And any wooden weapon, folks. So I'm just going to use this Moblin Club because it's a piece of crap anyway. Actually, it's got critical hit on it, so it's better than some. But either way, it's still a trash weapon. And you don't have to swing it or anything. Just stand close to the flame. Go ahead and equip the weapon. And it should catch itself on fire. Alright, so obviously if it's raining in your games, you cannot do this part yet, which is highly unfortunate. And it does rain here pretty frequently, so you might just have to play that by ear. Okay, so I will put stars every time I light a new torch. And I also like to eat a speed meal here. I recommend you save your game just in case it starts raining on you. That way at least you didn't waste the speed food. So make sure you do that before. Obviously before you consume the food. That way if you decide to abort, you can get your meal back. Okay, so I just like to kind of wander uphill this way. It's probably not a main route or a normal route people take, but it's very efficient. And it gets you up there relatively quickly as compared to any other way. So once again, I'll make sure I give you guys a good map overview of this little side quest so that you know where this stuff's at. And you can recreate events on your end. So this is the farm or the ranch, or I don't know what you want to call it. The village place where you would store your horse. So there's a couple side quests there too, and I'll show you guys those when the time comes. But for now, we're kind of on a mission, taking advantage of clear weather while we have it. Okay, so now we're kind of get back on the main road. Reason being is if Link loses his footing, of course, he puts the weapon away, and then you have to start all over. It's quite frustrating. Oh my god, stamps. Programmers, we need more stamps. I know I've said that before, but I'm saying it again. Alright, what else can I get rid of? I might need one more stamp. So freaking annoying. Okay, so yeah, this is going to be the last torch before we make it to the top there. And I will need one more stamp, unfortunately. Nuts. Yeah, I still kind of need that. I kind of know where that one is. Alright. So that's enough of stamps and torch marking. So anyway, once you get to that final torch, and the reason we light all those torches on the way is in case it does start raining, at least you don't have to redo this whole thing all over again. The rain will not extinguish anything that you've already lit. It will only extinguish whatever torch Link happens to be carrying around at the time. Alright, so that's it, folks. That's the blue flame. We are now at the Hateno Ancient Tech Lab, which is marked on the map. And there's lots to do in here, so we're going to go ahead and do all this stuff real quick. Go ahead and talk to the girl. I'm just going to skip through everything, but please take the time to read all this stuff. It's really awesome the way they tied all the storylines in on this game together. And you are going to need 3 ancient screws, 3 ancient shafts, and 3 ancient cores to get your Sheikah Slate completely and fully upgraded. And if you've been following along with my walkthrough, you have all those materials. Congratulations. If you have not been following along with my walkthrough, maybe you want to start your game over and try my walkthrough. It's a good time. So yeah, 3 ancient screws, 3 ancient shafts, 3 ancient cores. That is going to upgrade the bombs on the Sheikah Slate so they recharge in almost no time at all. That's going to upgrade your stasis so that you can also freeze enemies, which comes in very, very handy. And that is also going to upgrade the searching ability on the Sheikah Slate so that you can take a picture of any item and search for it. That's right, you heard me correctly. So say you want to do some treasure hunting. You take a picture of a treasure chest, and you can search for it on your Sheikah Slate. Very, very cool feature of this game. I actually like to keep hightail lizards going on my Sheikah Slate until I get 35, because you're going to need that many to upgrade your clothing later on in the game. So it just kind of makes sense to me to search for those in the meantime, and scoop those up while I'm out wandering around. Oh yeah, I gotta take a picture real quick. Stand by. Okay, so you're waiting for that little word bubble with the little red exclamation circle in it. That tells you that you're getting the picture that the game wants. Okay, so after you go through this little spiel, this is when we're gonna upgrade the Sheikah Slate, and you got a little more spiel to go through. And it's gonna trigger the side quest, Robbie's research, and that's fine. So, ancient materials! I'm game. Sheikah sensor. Might as well start. Just do them in order. And unfortunately, I gotta make you guys watch this little video clip every time I do this. But I think you're starting to get the gist of what you need to do. So this is what the 3 ancient shafts, 3 ancient screws, and 3 ancient cores are for. For upgrading our searching ability, our bombs, and our stasis. It's worth every penny, folks, so to speak. Now there are 2 pictures we're going to take right behind the Ancient Tech Lab here. As soon as we're done with this little spiel here, and we're done upgrading our Sheikah Slate, we're going to go behind the building, take a picture of a sun shroom that's back there, and we're also going to take a picture of a hightail lizard that's usually standing back there. So you're going to want to make sure that you have your full stealth clothing on, just to make sure that that lizard doesn't run away from you before you have a chance to get a picture of it. Alright, one more and then we'll be on our way. Suppose I could have done a break-in video at this point, but sometimes people miss a step here and they get hung up on what they're supposed to do. So I'll just walk you through it, I suppose. Last but not least, stasis. And then once we get those pictures that I was telling you guys about, the sun shroom and the hightail lizard, we're going to come back in and talk to the guy that's standing back there. Now, remember I told you to sell at least 50 of something, and I just decided to sell 50 ambers, because I had a whole buttload of them. But to be honest, you could sell 50 apples, or 50 of anything, really. And that's the guy we're going to talk to get all those free pictures I was telling you about. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the Sheikah Slate, folks. So just go out the back door here past the dude. And as I mentioned, sunshroom. Okay, and the hightail lizard should be standing right over here somewhere. Right where he should be. Okay, with those pictures, we're going to go on back inside. And talk to the dude now. And he's going to give you a little side quest here for Sunshroom. First he's going to tell you to get a picture, which we just did. Then he's going to look at it. And then he's going to activate a little side quest where he wants you to go search and collect 3 Sunshrooms. But again, if you've been following along with my walkthrough, you've already got more than 3 Sunshrooms. So go ahead and give those to him. He'll give you 3 Hardy Truffles in return. Now, I didn't really do that for the Hardy Truffles. I did that so when you're done with that, you can talk to him again. And he tells you this little spiel about picture taking. Kind of go through that. Just tell him I'm good so that he doesn't repeat himself. And this is where he negotiates with her over there. And you're going to get all the free pictures I just mentioned. Now this is assuming you sold at least 50 of something at the general store. And there you have it. All of the materials section of your condominium or photo album or whatever you want to call that thing are now complete. So if you only got one picture for free, that means you did it wrong. Load up a prior save point, go back to the general store here in town, sell at least 50 of something, or maybe it's only like 35 or 40 of something, I don't really know. Just count however many empty squares there are there. That's what you have to sell. So I'll show you guys here what we did. So you see you got monsters, creatures, all sorts of stuff in the condominium here. The materials is what we got for free. So I don't know, there's probably like 35 or 40 of those. So that's what you have to sell a number of at the general store to get those pictures for free. So now in the future you can come back, talk to him again, and buy the pictures for 100 rupees a pop. And like I said, later on in the game, when you're swimming in cash flow and drowning in a sea of silver enemies and getting gemstones out the yin-yang, you gotta spend your money on something. I just recommend doing that. Okay, there is a Korok seed on top of the Ancient Tech Lab here. Kind of tricky to get to sometimes. Link will hiccup trying to get up here. I don't know why, he just does. But try to get up topside and get your Korok seed. Alright, folks. Where to next? We're going to take a quick flight down right to this little pond. There's another Korok seed down there. And it's a ring a lily pad, so you can try to aim for it, so to speak, and just fall into it that way. Did I make it? Barely. Oh yeah, I told you I'd show you how to search for hightail lizards. Since we already got a picture of it, just go to creatures. You should see your picture there, hit the Y button, and it'll automatically start searching for hightails. I think there's one nearby here. So I'm just going to scoop him up real quick, show you how that works. Where are you little bugger? That is if this guy didn't just scare it away. He might have. Yeah, he sure did. That's unfortunate. Okay, so anyway, you get the gist. I think I'm going to go ahead and take a break in video. When we come back, let's go ahead and meet back at the Ancient Tech Lab. We got some traveling to go do. There's going to be... Actually, you know what? Scratch that. Let's meet back up at the Hateno Tower. There's quite a bit to do in this area, and since we're in the Hateno Village area, we might as well get all this stuff completed. More treasure hunting, more Korok seeds, all sorts of good stuff. When we come back, we'll meet at the Hateno Tower.